out of their huddle.
He's pretty impressed with the youngsters at North Geelong. Spoke to him during the week, and he certainly thinks he's got something to build with here. Lots of young boys who have played in their under-18 premiership sides the last couple of years, making the step up to the senior side.
Yeah, well, I suppose if you go through their side, they've probably got 7 or 8 guys under 20, 21, which obviously, as you said, is going to give him something to build on. The only problem with that is they've got to have the blokes through the 26 to 20, 29, 30 mark to go through with them. With the older guys like Sid and Keezy and that, you just don't know how long they're going to go on for. If they drop off before these younger blokes come up, there's going to be a gap in the middle. The younger guys have to step up too quick. Burns is another one, Ray Robinson, blokes of that calibre. So, yeah, a bit of luck they can hang on to them guys for a year or so while the younger guys push up and gain a bit of experience.
So the start of the final term, North Geelong and Belpost Hill. The GDFL match of the day. It's 14 points of difference. First goal vital in this final term. Robertson goes up, big thump away, but roved and sharked by Pollard. Torpedo punt towards Troy Felbin, who's in the forward line. Push off from Gibbs and takes the mark. Measures the pass towards Batty, and he takes the mark, and this could be the start that the Hill want, and pulls up a little bit properly after that too. Batty handballs quickly to Brad Martin. Brad Martin goes for goal. Has it made the distance? No, it hasn't, and one behind.
Bit of a mismatch there, Troy Felbin and young Gibbsy there. There's a bit of difference in size. I suppose on the ball hits the ground, Gibbsy's to advantage, but when it's in the air, Troy's always going to have the upper hand with the height and size advantage.
So first score for Belpost Hill, 6-12-48. They trail North Geelong 8-13-61. Or kick in by Gibbs, puts Burns under pressure. Illick taps it towards Felbin. Can he kick the goal around the corner? No, he's missed.
Boys in the box underneath is going a bit crazy there. They thought it was going through.
So it's 3 behind for Brett Felbin. The 13th for Belpost Hill. They're 6-13-49. They trail now by 2 goals. North Geelong 8-13-61. And David Gibbs will probably be taking a little bit more time with his kick, I would think. After the last one put Mark Burns under a bit of pressure. Bello gives him a lead. So does Lewis. He comes now down the middle towards Tajani. And Martin. And going back, Polder. Good mark, pay the mark. Ran back with a flight of the footy and half back.
Tommy Saveljic looking a bit proppy there.
Oh, his kick's been smothered by Martin. He does well to push in front, but there's Key. And he is wrapped up. Good throw. Play on now. Is it? No. It has to come back to Bevan Hurst. Mark Walsh getting up a little bit proppy after that tackle. And it will come to Bevan Hurst. Inside the centre square.
Having to play with Keezy there. He might be biting off a bit more than he can chew there, I think.
Well, he goes now. Short little kick towards Felbin. Takes the mark. Finger tipper on hands and knees. About 40 metres out. Kicking from about 45. Kick 3 behinds today, Brett Felbin. This to make the margin 6 points. Will he kick this, Gus?
Well, he's, 45? 45 metres out. I think he'll have a fair go. It's getting late in the game, so the legs are getting tight. He's pretty fit, and he's got that little bit of bruise behind him, so he'll go close. The ball has been pushing left of them posts all day, though.
Just like that.
Just like that. So just a couple of feet to the left, and it's been happening all day. And as I said earlier, it's easy for us to sit up here and talk about the points being kicked, but surely at senior level of footy you adjust to them situations.
Well, it's 14.50. Belpost still 8-13-61. North Geelong. Dow Jones now along the boundary line at half back on the left boot towards Lewis. He comes across in front of Hanussen. Well on Lewis, gets his kick back towards Pollard. In front though, David Gibbs takes the mark. And it was a very long time with the umpire paying the mark, but he did so. Got it to Jones, who ran past. Now he wants to switch play. Come towards the grandstand wing towards Robertson. Dalziel against him. Good punch away. Robbo at the fall of the ball. Does his own roving. Was going to handball. Then goes wide towards Daniel Gibbs, who sits and takes the mark in front of Matthew Lewis. Play on now. Directs traffic back in towards Polder. It's quickly going to get wrapped up by Pollard, but got the kick away. Habe now has to sit wait and does so well. North Geelong guys collide. Head clash. Habe goes wide towards Stewie Marnie. Damien puts a bit of ground. He can't do so. Marnie gets back to Key. Back to Marnie. Draws the player. Gets it over the top. And now he can run away from ball. Goes long towards Lewis Cut. And at the back, Hutchinson breaks a couple of tackles, then loses the footy. Was that a throw? Holding the ball. And it's going to be...
Maybe they didn't do enough with the kick before, and it's caused all that situation.
So it's going to be a kick now to Belpost, getting up Chris Ball. A little bit jingly. Can handball off to Brad Martin, does so. And he runs across half now, measures the pass towards centre wing. Jones, couple there for North Geelong against Damien Ball. Goes towards Key. Was going to handball. Thinks towards Polder. Gets up there, takes the mark in front of Sean Lewis.
That was a contest I was talking about before. Brad Martin's come down the ground, had plenty of time, knew he's had the shepherd and kicked to 2 on 5.
Yep.
Two Bell Post Hill blokes at 5 against, or 2 and 4, but totally outnumbered the contest.
Polder wants Weiss to move. It's half forward. He goes in that direct now. And Hutchinson, he comes in. Can't take Mark Habe. Another kick smothered. And now Adam Martin goes inboard towards Kazina. In front, can take the chest mark. Play on quickly, gives it to Pollard. Was going to handball to Feldman and then goes towards Troy Feldman and Sveljak. Sveljak over the back of the batty. Handball to Troy. Has to kick the goal. And hits the post.
It was just to the left side of the post, that one as well, Jason. Did you notice that?
It was going the wrong side of it anyway.
Hit the woodwork.
Did the hard work over the back of the pack, the slick handball to Feldman, but he hits the post. 6:15:51, Bell Post Hill, North Geelong, 8:13:61. It's 10 points difference. David kicks in again, long towards Robertson. He's got a couple against him. In the front of the pack, Jones, onto his left boot, takes down, gets a good shepherd. There's a player down for Bell Post Hill.
Matthew Lewis, I think it is.
Sean
Lewis, I mean.
Well, Stewie, he's got the foot in, takes 3 bounces at a half forward. He can take 4 and keep going. He's got to draw a play now. Then he drops the foot, gets one high, play on the court. Now he puts Lockwood under pressure. Slick handball to nobody in particular. Little kick off the ground. Now it's 3 on nobody for North Geelong. Habe, poor kick again. Bello, can he pick it up? No, he can't. Comes towards Kazina. Left foot kick around the corner towards centre half forward. Polder can run across half back, but he can't pick the footy up. Troy Feldman can. Breaks one tackle, got a tackle, can play on quickly. Sveljak's making a lead. He goes in that direction. Tommy's legs going. Watch against him. He's got to get around on the left. Now he gets onto the right. Goes for goal and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Well,
there you have it. Notice Stewie Marnie run up the window having 4 bounces. That was Sean Lewis's man.
Yeah, and he's still in a bit of trouble over there in the hands of the trainer with a bit of an ankle by the looks of it.
Doesn't look good, actually.
Newson goes towards half back. Over the back of the pack, Feldman and Burns. That's Brett. Over the pack of Troy Feldman and Ray Robertson there. They can't take the mark. Lewis still in the hands of the trainer. Looks like coming off. And it's going to be a boundary throw in on the forward flank. Well, that's a free kick to Bell Post. Robertson kept Delzeal. Oh, well, he's paid it against Delzeal. He's given it to Robertson. At half back for the Magpies. He's got little Adam Walsh. Going to be chopped off, though, by Hurst, and he takes the mark. Oh, he's got Pollard in the clear at centre half forward if he can go over to him. Adam Walsh make up a bit of ground, but he can't do so. Pollard outside 50. Lead in from Troy Feldman. Now, Beat was going to give him a lead. There's not much on offer in the forward line, so Pollard's holding the footy. Short little lead by Troy Feldman. Kazina. Batty has to give him a longer lead than what he's doing. He goes wide to Feldman. Now, he might be able to set something up if they lead for him. Hurst was giving him a short one. Pollard has moved into the circle. Goes in towards Troy, but it's chopped off by Malcolm Key. Goes to the outer side. The run of Jones again. Takes a bounce. Draws Illick. Can get back around towards Polder. He stands and waits for it at defensive 50. He gets it over the top towards Naylor.
Had the desired effect there.
Goes with his right boot, 2-on-1. Brett Feldman from behind can play on quickly. He's got support. Miletto and also Pollard. He breaks a couple of tackles. He's at centre half forward. He might have to kick the goal himself. So he goes to the torpedo punt. 3 Magpies back there. Gibbs takes the mark. Well, it's through for 1 behind.
Took the second bite over the line, I think.
Right.
Jason.
6:16:52. Bell Post Hill to 8:13:61. 22 scoring shots to 21. And it's 9 points of difference with the Magpies in front. Gibbs again to kick and go short to brother Daniel. He takes the mark and plays on. He goes short to Hanusen. He takes the mark at back. Goes long towards the wing. Habe, Naylor. Hudson takes a good mark overhead for a small guy. And gets up a little bit proppy. Takes the mark. He's got Adam Walsh in the middle, but he's not going to... He elects not to go there. Lewis and also Lockwood giving him leads. Goes short. Martin over his head, over the head of Damien Ball as well. And Matthew Lewis, third in line, takes the mark. Needs some movement up forward. Goes to centre half forward. 3 against 1. Key doesn't take the mark. Gibbs.
That's an ordinary kick for a bloke of his ability.
Brad
Martin running through the centre there. He actually looked at him and seen him and never kicked the ball to him.
Well, Pollard's got it back to Matthew Lewis. He has to do a bit better on this occasion and goes towards Brett Feldman, who plays on now. Gets around Gibbs. He needs to. He does. He's held on to. Well, that's dropping the footy. And that could be 50. Brett will have to watch himself. Gibbs. The umpire's
just a bit stiff there.
telling him to settle down. Yeah, he did. He broke the tackle. Pretty quick by the umpire. David Gibbs, poor kick. And the Belpo Still players will probably be saying justice there, I would think. Martin goes long towards Batty, and Hanusen goes over the back of the pack. Had most of the play the hill in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Need a result. Ball can get around 1, then handballs at the Casino. Short little kick towards Feldman. Stands against some pressure. Gets a couple against him. Was 1. And now pushing the back, North Geelong. Free kick. Weiss off. Kane Harrington on for North Geelong. Free kick. Hanusen going to switch play. Dana. Jones into the sun. Takes the mark. Plays on now. Onto the left boot. Goes towards half-back. 2 against 1. Hurst has to go. Does well. Take good mark. Wants to switch play towards Pollard. Poor kick off the boot. Still 2 on 1. Pollard. He needs a shepherd from Mileto. Gets it. Bit of time. Can the coach kick the goal that they need? It goes long. Batty. Hits the post.
The woodwork again. More sprinters in the footy. 6-17.
1 goal, 3 Brett Pollard. 6-17, 53. North Geelong 8-13, 61. They can't find the middle of the goals.
It's unbelievable.
They've kicked 5 behinds in this final term. In fact, 6 behinds. Gibbs to kick in. Short to Jones, who's just been racking up kicks in that back pocket for the last 5 minutes. Up, Elliott can't take the mark. Feldman needs some support. Handball to Kazina. Can give it back to Feldman. Has to. Poor handball. Going to be under pressure from Key now. But Feldman keeps his feet now. Key dropping the ball against Melbourne Key. And it will be Brett Feldman's free kick. And Brett Feldman will have to be pretty careful there. He's got a free kick at half forward. He has to take it quickly if he wants to move the play along. And Feldman now. We're just waiting. The umpire's waiting. The trainers got Jamie Hutchinson in the hands. And it's at half forward. It's 8-13, 61 North Geelong. Bell Post Hill 6-17, 53. It's 8 points of difference. And the Panthers need a goal. And it's going to be a stretcher. And I've just got the stretcher on, so the umpire's called time on, so we're going to have to wait a couple of minutes now. Well, come on, Gus, make a comment.
I was just waiting I was having a look at a few of the matchups and see where they were going, the blokes, but they're sort of standing around having a bit of a chat between themselves. But if I was North Geelong, I'd be trying to get into the holes now, not worrying about what happened. That's happened, and I didn't exactly see what happened there, Jason. I was looking around a bit further.
So Jamie Hutchinson will be moved onto the stretcher at half forward. Feldman's got the free kick. Now it's 8-13 to 6-17, 8 points of difference. And it's going to be a blood rule as well. Ray Robertson's got some blood on him, so he'll come off the ground as well. So Jamie Hutchinson now on the stretcher. He's conscious by the looks of it, or semi-conscious. Now Corey Lockwood stands the mark. Brett Feldman will kick the footy from half forward. The umpire calls time on. A pretty congested forward line as the Magpies have moved down there into defence now. So he wants something. Nobody's leading for him. His brother does, so he'll go in that direction. And Robertson, big thump away too. Dalziel, Martin run through. Ripped off the footy. Wasn't close. Wasn't 5 metres. We'll take the free kick. So Adam Martin plays on now. Oh, poor kick off the boot. Couple of Magpies there. They could raffle it, and they do. And Tajani takes the mark.
Style, hasn't he?
Yeah. So Tajani now. Sveljak standing the mark. Was going to go to the outer side. Needs some leads. Not many Magpies moving for him. Can go short to Polder in the back pocket if he wants. But he likes to go to nobody in particular. Mileto takes the mark. Poor kick in the end. Handball to Pollard. Can he kick the goal that they need? Oh, he was going to go with the kick. Then he gets it back to Feldman. He goes long. Jones. And it's going to be a free kick down the field. And it's going to be a free kick to, by the looks of it, Batty.
Bit unnecessary, I think. I think he had time to stop running into him, but anyway, he's done it. He's knocked him over, and it's too late now. But
well, the free
it's
kick.
not what you want to see at this time of the game situation, the way it is.
Oh, Sveljak has kicked the goal anyway. I think it was going to be 50. Well, it is 50. He might have missed. He might have missed too. He kicked up and under the ball, so he might have missed. But he's going to get a 50-metre penalty. The Magpie on the mark ran over it, and umpire Allenson was right there. So Sveljak from the goal square to kick his third and make the difference 2 points. Oh.
He allowed for the win there, Jason, from the bloke on the goal
line. Far away either.
But interesting to note there, both Tommy Sveljak and Michael Batty have been pretty quiet for the whole day, but they've kicked 6 goals between them. So, as we said earlier, 75%, I suppose, out of 100 production.
6 out of 7 goals.
That's it.
And they're 7-17-59 now, Bellpost Hill. North Geelong 8-13-61. 2 points of difference on the Buckley's Gaming Centre final quarter scoreboard. And there will be a bit of time on in this final term, with Hutchinson going off the ground on a stretcher. Pollard's in the middle with Feldman and Damien Ball now. Dalziel goes up against Robertson, goes towards Jones. Polder, fresh air shot. Robertson's there again. Can't take the footy with him. Feldman, in fact, it's Pollard. He can. Left foot kick towards Troy Feldman. He goes up. Can't take the mark. 3 Magpies against him. Feldman now. Safety the boundary line for the North Geelong defence. And they do well at half forward.
But Pollard's lifted a little bit.
He has. Taken upon himself to get a few quality positions in the midfield. Boundary throw in. Robertson against Dalziel. They've had a good tussle all day. Goes to ball. Quick kick around the corner. Sveljak has to wait to sit. Key was held onto and will take a free kick. And Key ran off looking for the next kick. Was going to leave it with Shuey Marnie, but has to come back and take it. He handballs it to Jones. Runs into Key. Then gives it to Gibbs. Can go wide to Lewis. Bevanhurst has to go. Punch away.
I don't know why they do that, Jason. Like he's running behind, tucking handball, and all that's fine, but the blokes up the ground aren't anticipating which way he's going to go because he balks someone coming back and puts him straight out of position, then he's under pressure to kick to his teammates.
Well, Robertson from behind gets it towards Dejani. Needs a shepherd. Got one from Lewis and got his kick away. Goes towards half forward. Mark Walsh against Chris Ball. Ball needs some help now. Needs a runner and some support. Martin ducks his head. Got the handball away. Havey straight through the pack. Good play by Ball. Set a path for Brad Martin. Goes towards Dejani and Dalziel. Falls towards Damien Ball now. Can't keep it in front of him. Polder can handball over the top or short little kick's okay to Marnie. And can run off through the middle now. Myers reserve goes towards centre. Half forward. Nicola a long way out from goal. Takes the mark in front of Hancock. Nick now at 50. Naylor has moved down in the goal square, as has Harrington, who gives him a lead. Nickel now goes with the boot into the square. Couple sit there and wait through the hands of Martin. That was Adam, one behind. So North Geelong's first score of this final term, 8-14-62. They lead by 3 points over Bellpost Hill, 7-17-59. 24 scoring shots to 22. And it must be blood rule for Brett Pollard. So while Pollard gets that fixed, Sean Lewis has to run on the ground, and he doesn't look too healthy to run on either. Just been told to sit in the pocket
Sit in the pocket, but they've pushed no one up.
while Pollard is getting his face fixed. He's moved Tommy Speljack up to the ball, and Sean Lewis in the pocket. Now the kick in from brother Matthew at the southern end of the ground. Goes to the outer side looking for Chris Ball. In front was
Cameron
Carr and also Owens. But it's out of bounds now. Outside 50 for the Magpies. 8:14.62. They lead Bellpost till 7:17.59.
Have we got a time? How long we've been going, Jason?
I would say about 20 minutes, Gus, but there'll be a bit of time on. So still plenty of time. Hurst close to the boundary line for Bellpost Till. Gets his kick away towards centre wing. But there's magpies everywhere. And Lewis ends up with a footy. Short little kick towards Naylor. And he has to try and pick the footy up. He can't do so. Delzeal goes towards centre wing. Key running back with a flight of the footy and takes the mark. Plays on quickly. And he goes towards centre half forward. Naylor stands. Can he take the mark? Yes, he can. Martin not happy. And James Naylor takes the mark inside the square. Goes long. Feldman getting back there, taking the mark. Needs some leads. Pollard to come back on the ground. Short inboard towards Adam Martin. He takes it centre half back. Goes wide with a torpedo punt towards Brad. Martin, that is. Handball to Lewis. Can run on. Needs a good kick towards Illick. Coming from behind Gibbs. Good disciplined play from the youngster Illick. Second effort. Good work. Over the back towards Feldman. And also taking a good mark is Hannison. And Bob Hannison goes wide. Okay, Daniel Gibbs. Now he needs something coming up the ground. Bellows there. Pollard back on the ground. Sean Lewis off. Bellow at half back for North Geelong. Wide towards Jones. Hurst. Jones always had it. His eyes firmly on the ball then. Goes towards half forward. And is that a good mark by Lockwood? Yes, it is. And Corey Lockwood will take it at half forward. So Corey Lockwood at half forward for North Geelong. 8:14, 7:17. 3 points of difference. The Magpies in front. Short little kick is all right. Stewie Marnie has been found by that Corey Lockwood pass. Now he sweeps onto his left boot. Goes long into the pocket. No mark taken by Nickel. A couple of Panthers there. Oh, one of them was Cameron Carr.
Done well there.
Yeah, he's done well towards Hurst and also Jones. Both get a hand to it. Hurst kept his feet. Jones couldn't. But the ball is over the boundary line. We see Daryl Jones getting up there. To the bottom of the pack. So now Delzeal and Robertson come down for the ruck contest. Thrown in. Both get a hand to it. Falls to the back. Habe. Brett Feldman now. Lockwood and Lewis. Lewis does well. Habe comes over the top. Lewis in there. Just holds it in there. And umpire Allenson will come in and bounce the ball. 3 points of difference. And Pollard looks like the wild man. Have a look. He's got a big strip of tape right around his head. Robertson, Delzeal. They both can't get a hand to it. Lockwood, quick hands to Lewis. He can't keep it in.
They could have made it white, so everyone could see it.
Owens on for North Geelong. And Mark Walsh off. In fact, it's Adam Walsh off. Goes towards Jones, who ducks his head but doesn't get a free kick. And it will be a ball up at half forward for North Geelong. So just a bit of a lull in the play here. A couple of boundary throw-ins and a couple of ball ups. Robertson and Delzeal. Delzeal gets it down. Burns went in with his head down and got a high tackle. So Mark Burns, Jones, Mr. Experience. 6 minutes to go.
Little toe poke out in front just to take a bit of time. Problem is I don't want to try too much time, and just in case Bellpost still have to snag one.
Well, there's still 6 minutes, so there's a lot of time. Burns goes laterally to Jones in the centre. He goes wider towards Harrington. He takes the mark. Harrington now. Left foot kick towards David Gibbs. He looks to have been moved up the ground. Or may have followed his man up there. He goes short towards Naylor. Good kick. And he takes the mark. So James Naylor.
We've had 4 kicks We've travelled about 30 metres up the ground. We're totally on upside side pocket.
Yep. Well, nail it.
A flank.
Pretty high into the goal square. Harrington from behind. Has he paid the mark? Yes, he is. And Kane Harrington.
Yeah, been on the bench most of the day. I don't know what's happened there, but generally senior player pretty consistently.
Usually plays in the back line too. So he's got a chance now to put his first goal on the board. And North Geelong's 9th.
Hello. Yeah.
He comes in from 10 metres out. Left foot. And has put it through for his first goal. And the 9th for North Geelong, 9-14-68. The Magpies, Bell Post Hill 7-17-59. And it's back to 9 points the difference on the Buckley's Gaming Centre final quarter scoreboard.
With roughly 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go. So the next centre bounce, very important for Bell Post Hill.
But we've had 16 goals scored in 95 minutes. Interesting to see how many we could scored in the last 5, Jason. On that average, though, the game's probably over. But it's not over till the fat lady sings, so they say.
That's right. Well, back in the centre, Dalziel and Robertson. Thrown up. Dalziel gets a couple of taps to it. Robertson on hands and knees. Then Dalziel falls over the top of him. And the big ruckman will get up and do the bounce of the ball again in the centre of Myers Reserve. So it's 9-14-68 North Geelong, 7-17-59 Bell Post Hill. Pollard towards Feldjack, Tajani. Pollard chops it off, handball quickly to Sveljak, handball okay to Feldman. Has to get the kick away quickly on the left boot towards centre half forward. Illick presents himself, can't take the mark. Jones back there, does well, and gets a bounce in, then a left foot kick across to Stewie Marnie. Marnie, short kick to Burns is all right. And he tucks it on centre wing on the outer side.
Toji's been good in the last quarter.
He has been. So Mark Burns just slowing things down. They're 9 points in front. 4 minutes to go. Goes towards half forward, looking for Harrington. And can take the mark, the last goal kicker. At half forward. The bat phone's running hot now for Brett. Hasn't rang all day. 2 in 2 minutes. Harrington goes towards centre half forward. Nickel coming out at the back of the pack. Martin has to stand there. Can't take it with him. Dalziel needs that support. Habe has to be quick. Gets the kick away towards centre half back. Pollard in the middle of the pack takes the mark.
1 on 3. I was just going to say bad kick by Habe again.
Goes over the back. Illick from behind. Oh, can he take the mark? Yeah, good grab.
Oop.
And Malcolm Key has to just be careful there. Hurst has got hands on knees. In a bit of strife. McGillick now needs somebody. Wants to direct play towards Hancock. Oh, danger. Over the back of the pack, Gazina now. Yeah, good tackle by Bello. And can measure the pass towards Owens. He takes it. Oh, plays on quickly. Gets it around the corner towards Naylor. Troy Feldman coming at it. Naylor stands his ground. Oh, does well and cop one too. As Habe came through for the ball pretty heavily there. And Naylor looks in a bit of trouble. Tajani gets away. Takes a bounce, takes 2 bounces at centre half forward, left foot kick. Oh, Matthew Lewis, be careful, but Kane Harrington's taking the mark. And he's at 35 metres out from goal. Robertson gets up a little bit gingerly as well. A few tired boys out there now, Gus.
Yeah, well, it's going to come down to that, wasn't it, Jason? We mentioned that at 3/4 time. It was going to come down to the run and had to go flat out at it. And it's ended up that way.
So Harrington now goes for goal, but has missed to the far side and one behind. So 9-15-69 North Geelong. And 7-17-59 Bell Post Hill, so 10 points the difference. The Magpies in front. Kick in towards Hancock is all right. And he goes further afield to Troy Feldman, who's got Brad Martin running next to him, but he can go on from centre wing. Measure the pass towards Illick. 2 against 1. Does well. Illick, though, against Key. Needs to move it quickly to Batty. Does so. Batty now will have to see if he can get in front. Can he take the mark? No, he can't. Gibbs, handball to Polder is okay. It just goes to the safety of the boundary line. Good experience there from Matthew Polder.
A lot of experience at 17. Yep.
Does well, doesn't he? Showed a lot of experience.
Yep.
Straight to the boundary line. So not long to go now. And boundary throw in at half forward for the Panthers. Robertson. Oh, hits Kazina in the head with a big thump. Carr over the back. Mileto in front now, can handball towards Feldman. Oh, got crunched. No free kick. Feldman stands in the tackle. Loses the footy. Burns. Handball underneath. Lewis gets a bit of a kick away towards Brad Martin. Goes long towards full forward. Batty from behind. Polder. Handball. Sveljak. Batty. And the Magpies defence working overtime. Tajani got legged. Did he? Yes, he did.
I was going to say the umpire was a bit slow there. Just wondered what was going on.
So we'll come back to Dave Tajani in the back pocket.
I think that might be close to the end of the ball game, Jason.
I think you might be right. 9-15 playing 7-17. 10 points the difference. And Dave Tajani with the footy in the right back pocket. Goes towards half back. Up there ball, but Hanussen in front. Polder off the ground. Fortuitously. Creates a loose man. Naylor.
How do you spell it?
Inboard. I'll tell you later, Gus. It starts with an F, mate. Starts with an F. Goes towards Owens. Can't pick it up. Surrounded by Magpies. In fact, Panthers. Troy Feldman. Went right, then went left. Back towards Burns, who chops it off. Handball over the top to Naylor. Just kicks it long towards a vacant centre half forward. Nickel tries to make up a bit of ground. Goes backwards to Marnie. Can get it over the top to Harrington, who can run into goal and ice the game for North Geelong. He runs in and kicks it. And there's the ball game. North Geelong 10-15, 75. And they lead Bell Post still 7-17, 59 on the Buckley's Gaming Centre final quarter scoreboard. It's 16 points of difference. And some good play in the midfield by Mark Burns again, Gus.
Yeah, he just cut it off there. Brett Feldman, he went to go right and then he turned back left, turned in play, and then he had to handball on his left hand, put him under a little bit of pressure and didn't quite hit the mark. Mark Burns cut it off, turned it over, they went forward and kicked the goal. Good vision by Stewie Marnie there too, picking out Kane Harrington, who's run into open goal.
And has kicked two goals.
Darts. Yeah, he'd been on 10 minutes. He come on in the second quarter, I think, for about 5 or 10 minutes. And that was about it, but that's the end of the ball game, I think.
So back in the centre, Dalziel and Robertson, who've had a good tussle all day. Threw it up. Robertson with a big thump, chopped off by Dalziel.
Big round arm.
Yeah, Mileto gets the kick around the corner. Chopping it off, though. Here's Tajani.
He's played pretty well, actually.
He has played pretty well, and there is the siren. And it's a North Geelong victory. 10-15, 75 to 7-17, 59. And in that final quarter, the North Geelong side kicked 2 goals 2, while Bell Post Hill kicked 1 goal 6. So they certainly had their chances in the final term, Gus, with
yeah,
1 goal 6.
They hit the post twice. They were probably a bit stiff, and it was at the stage of the quarter where if they had have kicked them, they might have went on with a bit of a run on, but didn't turn out to be. And North Geelong defended its lead from 3/4 time pretty well, actually. Sid across half back there played pretty well and kept on pushing the ball forward. Young Tajani was good, and yeah, Kane Harrington come on and kicked a couple of goals. I think you say they kicked 2 for the last quarter.
Yeah, 2
He's
goals.
kicked both of them for
2
the
goals
last
too,
quarter,
yep.
and they've ended up winning the game. So the North Geelong backline was good in that last quarter. Young Gibbsy, he went pretty well. That's David.
Yep.
And his brother Daniel, he was disciplined. It was effective, even though he just minded his man and was disciplined, which was good. And it was good to see. You see the North Geelong blokes here now. They're actually, I seen as soon as the siren went, Sid and Keezy, they sort of grabbed each other and picked each other up, and you could see that was a game that they really wanted to win.
Well, the goal kickers for North Geelong, 2 each to Kane Harrington and Ray Robertson, and singles to Matthew Polder, Mark Burns, Daryl Jones, Stuart Marnie and Rory Nickel, while for Bell Post Hill, 3 each to Michael Batty and Tom Sveljak, and a single goal to Brett Pollard. The final score 10-15, 75 North Geelong. Bell Post Hill 7-17, 59. Now, have you had a bit of a chance to think about your 3-2 and 1 gas?
Well, it was a funny game of footy as far as individuals was concerned. We had blokes that come in and out all day. Young Tajani was pretty solid all day. Like Sid had 2.5 good quarters out of 4. James Naylor had a good first half and then dropped off in the second half. Sort of, it was a funny sort of a game where players had dominated. Brett Pollard didn't do much till half time. Done a little bit between halfway through the third quarter and the siren. So I haven't had a chance to actually go through them and assess them.
Well, we'll go through some better players for both sides before we give our 3, 2 and 1. For the winners, probably you're looking at Mark Burns in the midfield. Daryl Jones also, as Gus said, had a lot of kicks across half-back and in the back pocket in that last half. David Gibbs at full-back, even though Batty did kick 3 goals on him. He probably only had 4 kicks of the day, and Gibbs did play quite well in the field of play. James Naylor, as Gus said, was in and out. Brett Lewis on the wing I thought was pretty good. Malcolm Key is one of the experienced boys at North Geelong that they certainly need to stand up and help these young boys, along with Daryl Jones, Ray Robertson and also Mark Burns, and he played quite a good game. Corey Lockwood impresses me greatly as a youngster who seems to know what he's doing with the footy. Stuart Marnie's the same. He certainly had a very good first term and is a good wingman on his left foot. Rory Nicholas, Gus, you probably said, probably needed a bit more across half forward maybe, or even on the ball when he got a bit frustrated down there at full forward.
I thought they might have given him a bit more of a run on the ball, and obviously Arthur had him there as a target and to use him, but the way the game was set up, he didn't get into the play much. I just thought that maybe for the sake of the game and getting back down there to give him a bit of run and even just for match fitness, there's nothing worse than having a guy that's super fit stand at full forward that's probably end up running a kilometre during the day.
And just finishing off North Geelong's better players, Ray Robertson in the ruck, and he had a good tussle against Brett Dalziel, and Dave Tijani also played well. For Bell Post Hill, well, Matthew Lewis was good. Sean Lewis was good until he went off injured. Pollard sort of moved in and out. He had a good final term. He saw plenty of the footy, but just couldn't quite make the difference between the two sides today. And Batty, with his 4 or 5 kicks, kicked 3 goals, as did Tom Sveljak.
Troy Feldman, I thought, was pretty solid throughout the day.
He was.
We haven't mentioned,
and he played sort of a bit in the forward line and a bit in the back line. He sort of roamed a bit, as you said. He played on a wing for a while, and is that tall option that they can use on the wing here on the wide open space at Myers Reserve. Damien Ball looks fairly impressive again with his skills.
Just dropped off in the second half a little bit.
Also, Chris Ball, his brother, wasn't too bad in the back line. As we said, Dalziel had a good tussle all day with Ray Robertson. And Brad Martin will just take a week or two to get back into this sort of game, I would think, after being at Werribee.
It was interesting to note. I went and watched, as I said earlier, a couple of times at North Geelong last week and watched the second half. And I just happened to watch Rory Priddle there, and I sort of felt as though he was struggling to sort of get into the game.
Yeah.
It's a different game of footy to where they come from and where they've been, and Rory's been down at Geelong, and Brad's been up at Werribee, but it's a totally different game of footy, and they'll take a couple of weeks till Rory's back at Geelong, I think, but Brad will take a couple of weeks to fit back in and get the rhythm and routine of how things work, and the blokes around him to think the same as he's been playing with.
Well, I've given 1 vote to Damien Ball. I know his second half wasn't as good, but he knows what he's doing with the footy, and he knows what he wants to do with the football. He's good on both sides of his body, and he certainly knows how to work the half-forward flank. Took a couple of good overhead marks, but he probably would have got 2 votes off me, but apart from that, probably fade out in the second half. 2 votes I've been tossing up between a couple of players, but I think I might give that to Mark Burns. He does a lot of stuff that is unnoticed by many people, and he gets 2 votes because Daryl Jones gets 3, and I think those 2 really set up a few things in the midfield for their forward line today. And they did have a number of goal kickers, a number of different goal kickers, but Jones and Burns were pretty good for a majority of the day. And really, as Gus said earlier, nobody really played 4 total quarters of football this afternoon, so I've given them to Jones, Burns, and Ball, my 3, 2, and 1.
Okay, before you actually mentioned yours, Jason, I written mine down. We come up with the same 3-vote person, as we said, you just mentioned that it wasn't a 4-quarter play, but for his 2 3/4 of the 4 quarters effort was great, and especially when the game was there at the end to be won, he was always around where the ball had to be got. I gave him his second vote to young Tijani. I thought he played pretty well for the day, and he was hard at it all day. And the third, the single vote, I give to Troy Feldman from Belfast Hill. I thought he worked hard all day and had a bit of a dip.
So the 3, 2, and 1 this afternoon is Daryl Jones from North Geelong, Dave Tijani from North Geelong, and Mark Burns Geelong, and that's nothing, no reflection on the game that Bellpost Hill played. I know there was only 16 points difference in it, but they obviously a few of their players probably just fade in and out a little bit more than the
too much.
Yeah, than the North Geelong boys.
We talk about like Batty's kicked 3 and Tommy Savelchek's kicked 3 as well, which is good in itself. But I mean, to have them, they've probably had 10 possessions between them, and taking into account that Tommy's actually an on-ball player. Change on the ball, he's done not a real lot when he's on the ball, but he's done his job in the forward pocket. And I think what you mentioned before, where the balls from North Geelong took over, and I think that's where the deficiency was with Bellpost Hill in that area. So
3 to Daryl Jones, 2 to Dave Dejani, and 1 to Mark Burns this afternoon for the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes Player of the Day on guest video, and Dave Dejani the 2, and the 1 vote going to Mark Burns. So 3 North Geelong players getting the 3, 2 and 1 in the Magpies 10-15-75 victory over Bellpost Hill 7-17-59. Gus, thank you for your help this afternoon.
Getting the wind up here, mate. They want to go to the news.
Getting the wind up, we've got to go. So next Saturday afternoon we'll be back with you on 94.9 Guest FM and Guest Video. Jason Doherty on behalf of David, Gus Primer and Brett Rovier for Guest Video.